And Adriana, thank you so much for stopping by once again, bringing us again behind the curtain.
Yes.
And, really interesting, given the time of the year, the holidays, everybody's trying to get their shopping done, plan out the holiday festivities, everything like that. But it is important to remember to take some time and have some fun. And people can do that over at the Kalamazoo Civic Theatre now through really much of the month of December and check out their production of Annie. That is what is the focus of this edition of Behind the Curtain. And it was really great. I can imagine, Adriana, getting to get a little bit more behind the scenes access with this more local theater.
Yeah, and that's part of the awesome part about community theater is you get a lot more of that access. You can kind of see all the hidden gems of the theater and talk with not professional actors, but these are just people in the community that have a hobby and want to get back into theater or stay in theater. And the interesting part was they have everyone from the ages of 7 to I think they said 70, like some people in their 70s in this production alone.
Wow.
So you get so many different types of people, so many different ages, so many different backgrounds and reasons why they're in the show. I talked with the guy who plays Oliver Warbucks, and I didn't even say Annie is the show. And he said he did theater in high school and never really did it after that. Like it was kind of pursue theater or there's not a lot of opportunities. And his son is big into theater and is a senior, I believe, in high school, and kind of inspired him to get back into theater. And he's done it now for just about a year and says it changed his life. So yeah, this is his second show with Kalamazoo Civic Theatre. And he got a lead role, so he must be really good.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. And, before we get to kind of more of the production and this latest episode of Behind the Curtain, Adriana, I mean, it must have been also pretty cool to be in kind of a historic landmark in that Kalamazoo theater scene. I mean, the Civic Theater's been there for decades and decades now. I mean, what was it kind of like actually being there in the actual theater?
Almost a century, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe it's 95 years that they've been there, and 97 seasons, if I'm right. But yeah, almost a century. There's so much history in those buildings, and it's always cool to kind of see all the shows that have been there before. It has a carnival-esque design to it, and that's how it was designed, and you can kind of see some elements of that in the story as well, because we got to go backstage and kind of see all of those elements. But it's also I think 3 stories. We got to see all the show, like the seats. I think it fits about 500 people inside, so it's a huge theater. Usually community theater, they're not as big as that, so it was really cool to see that as well. But yeah, just being in somewhere with that much history is awesome. And all these theaters have so many different little things about them. It's so cool to learn. And obviously they have it decorated for the holidays with perfect time for that. And a cool part too that they pointed out, I don't know if you see it in the story, but when you go to the theater, especially during the holidays, is you can look out the window and see downtown Kalamazoo, I believe it's Bronson Park, all lit up. And so they said a lot of times people during intermission will kind of just look out the windows and it's all decked out for the holidays, and it's just awesome. Who doesn't want to be in the theater when it's cold and snowy out?
Right. No, the perfect time of the year. And of course, West Michigan with all the snow, all the cold and everything like that, it does not get more cozy than I guess being in a theater, checking out a really great production like Annie. Let's talk about Annie a little bit. I know a lot of people are probably familiar with the film, probably more so than the play, but again, it is a musical. It is a play that people can actually check out, again, at the Civic Theater this month as well. But, kind of seeing the backstage production of it all, I mean, you can really tell that this is kind of a big deal for them. They're really putting in the extra effort to kind of bring back those memories, those fun memories from the film kind of out there in person for everybody.
Yeah, and what's really cool, too, is this is all volunteer-based for the most part. So everyone that's in it is a volunteer. There's ushers that are volunteers, people helping out. There obviously are some, paid roles like the director and things like that, but a lot of it's volunteers, so that makes it even cooler. But yes, Annie, a lot of people know and love it. It's a great story. It also kind of takes place during that Christmas time period, so it's a perfect show to see in December, and I think they had mentioned that was kind of part of the intent behind it. And you'll see some things in the musical that are familiar. You've got Tomorrow, you've got Maybe, all those really iconic songs, but then you've also got some new songs that are added to the production, and I think something the director had also added was there are some more like storyline developments that you don't necessarily see in the movie that you see in the musical. So that's kind of cool. There's a children's book about this that he kind of drew some inspiration on, and you see a little bit more of the build up to the her being in the orphanage and like things like that. That backstory that you don't necessarily see in the movie. So it'll be cool. So you have all of the elements of nostalgia and all the things you want to see, but also some new things. So it'll be cool.
Yeah, so whether you've seen the movie or not, you're probably going to be learning a little bit more about the story of Annie. So super cool about that. Yeah. Adriana, real quick though, do you have a favorite song from Annie? Ooh. I mean, I always, me and my fiance, we always talk about, we like jokingly do the sun will come out tomorrow. You know, I love that. I think it's so funny, but it's such a catchy tune. Right?
Phil.
Thank you. I've been looking for the opportunity to show off my singing abilities on here.
Too bad you missed out on the auditions.
Exactly. Next time around. Next time they do Annie, I'm right there.
You're
Put on a little red
it.
wig, I'm ready.
You know, Tomorrow is that iconic song. I will say, I'm big, obviously everybody knows I love musical theater. I love a big number.
Right.
And so It's a Hard Knock Life or a Hard Knock Life is just a big performance, even in the movie. So I love that song, but Tomorrow, you can't do much better than, that's just a great song.
Absolutely.
And Maybe's a good one too. They're all good.
Yes, they're all great.
But there's going to be a lot of like, obviously those big numbers, kind of that theater style. And then you've got those, slower ballad, more of that too. And the Annie in this production, I believe is 10 years old and apparently full of talent and spunk and energy, and like definitely is a leading lady at such a young age.
Yeah, so, just like the real Annie. Love that. All right, well, without further ado, let's go ahead now and get behind the curtain and check out this latest edition of it.
Welcome to Behind the Curtain. Today I'm at the Kalamazoo Civic Theatre giving you a behind-the-scenes look at their latest production to hit the stage here, Annie. It's a show everyone knows and loves, also bringing some new elements for the audience to see. I talked with a cast member and also the director who both say that it comes at the perfect time right during the holiday season.
This Annie is special because it really takes emotion to heart.
This show comes at a perfect time because we're right in time for the holidays. It is obviously, like you said, set around the Christmas time holiday. Talk a little bit about that and what you've already had opening weekend, so what was the reaction like from the audience?
Everybody that I've talked to walking out of this has felt the real holiday spirit, that it's just a fun show to watch, and it's a great show to bring the whole family to. There's nothing in here that you have to worry about having to explain to a young person in your family. They will understand this story from beginning to end, and may even identify with some of the characters in the show.
I've also heard from multiple people the sense of community in the show and within the experience of being here at the Kalamazoo Civic Auditorium, like from walking into the lobby, and then the cast. It's a very large cast in the show too. And that's something that was unexpected for me, and been really cool to get to witness and be a part of that.
Yeah, and that's something community theater brings, right? Because you have so many different ages and experiences and backgrounds all kind of coming together.
Well, we have a cast of 40 plus 2, and I'm saying that because we actually have live animals on stage. So we have 2 dogs playing Sandy. Our youngest actor in the show is 7 years old, and I think our oldest actor is well into their 70s. So it's a nice mix of community. We have a very diverse cast. You will see every person from a normal community on stage, which is really nice.
And so many people know Annie, the iconic songs. Can they expect that in this show?
Yes, and you will probably hear a few that you're not familiar with. Most people know the Carol Burnett movie, who played Miss Hannigan. In this, you'll hear songs like NYC that are not in that movie, but you'll still hear those standards, the Tomorrows, which I think is probably the most popular young person song at an audition or just out there. Maybe New Deal for Christmas, all of those songs are still here. So it's fun because it's what you remember in the movie and add a little more to it.
I share my dressing room with 3 other castmates, including Rooster and President Roosevelt.
But the magic starts backstage. The play's cast and crew members get ready.
Where we put on our makeup.
And this is another community spot. People come together and hang out in here and drink coffee and just kind of relax and tell us what their day's like before we actually start the show.
And spend most of their time.
Yeah, this is our green room. Whether it's just talking or warming up or whatever.
We do our vocal warm-ups down here.
This is your second show, you said, with this specific theater, and
Yes.
really your first year in community theater. Talk about that.
I did theater in high school, and at the time when I graduated, I thought my only choices were either trying to make a career out of it or giving up something that I loved. And my son is a senior at Lakeview High School in Battle Creek and loves theater, and he inspired me. And then seeing that community theater is a wonderful opportunity, and the last year has been incredibly happy and incredibly fun and incredibly rewarding.
And you have a very interesting story. If someone's like you in the audience, thinking for years, I want to find a creative outlook, I want to get back into theater or whatever it is, what would you want to tell them about how this has changed?
Jump in. There's a lot of opportunities. One that's great with the Kalamazoo Civic is before auditions for shows, they offer audition workshops that are free to attend and can help really ease you into that audition process, because the first time you do it, it's scary. But once you do dive in, it's incredibly rewarding. So even if you think you might be interested, look into the opportunities for workshops and classes and things of that nature.
We've got a couple more weekends for this show. What do you want to tell people to get them to buy tickets to come out?
Annie's one of those holiday shows that everybody loves to see, and it brings back memories for all of us. I think just about everybody has seen Annie. And so it's a great chance to reconnect with your childhood, or even if you're in your childhood, moments that make you go, oh, I had fun during this production or this movie and did it with my family. So it's a great holiday production to come see as a family and really enjoy those moments of nostalgia, or even the moments that you don't recognize on stage that are giving us some of that fun and that holiday spirit that we all need this time.
This is an incredibly fun production. Annie's a fun show. This is an even more fun Annie. I'm maybe a little bit biased, but I think one of the biggest reasons to come is for Charlotte, who plays Annie in our show. She is 10 years old, and she is incredible. She is got so much energy. She's incredibly talented, a wonderful singer. She can dance, and she is the heart of the show, and that everybody else builds around that.
This show is selling out fast. You're going to want to make sure you grab your tickets. There's still 2 more weekends you can come out to see the show. We have more information on the days, times, and also how you can buy tickets over on our website, woodtv.com. This has been Behind the Curtain. I'm Adriana Doria.
And if you want to check out more from the set of Annie at the Kalamazoo Civic Theatre, Adriana has a full story up for everybody right now over on our website, woodtv.com. Adriana, obviously, it's been a lot of fun this year, and we've really enjoyed having you on, kind of bringing us all of the latest behind-the-scenes look at some of these plays, specifically here in Grand Rapids and all across West Michigan as well. It's been a lot of fun having you on here, but I got to ask you, as somebody who's been to so many different shows this year and gotten such great access.
I'm so lucky.
Absolutely. I mean, is there one that kind of sticks out to you? Is there a show that you saw, or maybe an experience that's going to always kind of stick with you the most?
A really cool experience, I will say, was the Touch tour that I covered for Moulin Rouge. So that was part of Broadway Grand Rapids like access program. I forgot exactly what it's called, but they brought in, and I think Moulin Rouge is one of the shows that does this, where they bring in people with various backgrounds and maybe disabilities, or not necessarily experiencing the theater in a way that other people might, and making it more accessible. And so they bring out parts of the show, and they allow you to touch it and kind of feel, because sometimes if you're blind, you can't see, so feeling it, you can kind of get that access as well. So that was really cool to see. I've never seen a show do that. So that was really awesome. Moulin Rouge, also just a great show. I would say you can't beat Hamilton. I mean, Hamilton is just...
There's a reason it's this popular.
So good. But I will say I'm the most excited for this season for The Outsiders. That has been on my list since it's come out, and I have not seen it, so I'm so excited. I will probably see it twice. I'll probably see it in Grand Rapids and Detroit because it's coming to both. But I'm very excited for that. So that's coming, I think, in June or July, I want to say. The next show, Kimberly Akimbo, I have seen that. And I believe it's the same cast. So, but they have some cool elements. They actually have ice skating on stage. So it's really cool. So definitely one to see for Broadway Grand Rapids.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, this is going to be our last Behind the Curtain for the year, but we're going to have so many more in the upcoming year. And there's so many awesome shows coming to Broadway GR and other venues across West Michigan that we'll be bringing you here. And Adriana, we're so excited about it, including The Lion King. Real quick for everybody, we are going to have an exclusive interview with some of the cast from The Lion King coming up later this week on The Daily 8, so be sure to tune in then. But for right now, Adriana, thank you so much for doing this, and we look forward to seeing you again for another edition of Behind the Curtain.
Yes, and just a little plug. If there's any community theaters or anyone interested in being featured, send me an email.
Absolutely.
My email is on withtv.com. We're always looking for theaters, so I know there's tons, and I cannot seem to find all of them because there are so many. So yes, if you want to be featured, send me an email.
And you've seen Adriana's work. You know it's going to be a great story, so definitely reach out to her.
I promise I'm nice. And I'm a theater nerd, so you can't do much better than that.
Exactly. All right, awesome stuff. Well, Adriana, thank you so much again, and we look forward to another edition of Behind the Curtain.